All right, welcome on into the Ryan Ripken Show. Happy Wednesday, and thank you for sticking with us. You know, it's like in on TV when something goes wrong, and it's like a cat. Kevin, you can relate to this, but it's like a cat hanging on to like a rope, and it's like, hang in there, things will be fixed shortly. We got it all fixed, and we appreciate you guys joining us today. We got a lot to talk about, and we got a lot to do today. First things first, it is Wednesday, so we are going to be cooking it up with Kyle and the Iron Rooster. Kyle's got it all set up over here. Kyle, what are we cooking today?
I'm not cooking anything. You're cooking today.
Uh-oh.
I decided I'm taking Wednesday off, and I'm going to direct the traffic here, but we're going smash burgers. Smash burgers are all the rage. I don't know if you've seen it online or been out to different restaurants, but smash burgers, we've got a couple of smash burgers on our menu. We got a Maryland smash burger, which we've got tiny little Maryland flags, which if you put Old Bay on something, it's Maryland. So we're gonna go with that. We're just gonna do a basic one. We're gonna do a Maryland one, and then we're gonna do a Southern Charm City smash burger. Never before seen on television. This will be brand new for your listening and watching audience. This will be great. I think you guys are going to be excited by this one. But like I said, I'm not doing much. You're going to do most of the work today.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. You guys can judge my cooking skills. So we got the 3 burgers coming your way here momentarily. It is our Wednesday as well, and I think we turned that into our fitness day in the studio. And since Kevin lost the competition yesterday for Papa Shot, you all are going to vote on what exercise Kevin should do after we eat this glorious food. After I make 3 fantastic burgers, Kev cannot wait for that opportunity with you.
Three. You know, I'm game to eat the full 3. You know, Kyle, we were thinking about splitting them up. I feel like the judge in Ratatouille. Like, I'm gonna watch Ryan cook, and then I'm gonna be the one that passes judgment on you here, and then the world will pass judgment on me as I work out after your food. So you determine a lot today, Ryan. I'm kind of nervous.
I am sure. And we will have then our guy behind the scenes when we bring him on here, Zach Bollinger, will help make this poll and help choose how we're going to do this, Zach, because this is a glorious day. I am not the loser. And shout out our friends at Merit Clubs. Hey, it's 2025. Doesn't matter how you do it. Be active. Have fun with it. And in this case, for Kevin, he might not be having the most fun, and that will be based on all of you out there. Zach, we got a lot to talk about here in general. Yeah. First off, what we will get into, here's our topics for today. All right. The Orioles played a baseball game yesterday. It didn't go very well, but they got a chance to win a series. There was a team-only hitters meeting. Grayson Rodriguez joined foul territory. We will discuss that and those comments. Had a chance to talk to a legend of the game today, and we're going to release that interview in the future. But there was one comment there about how the mental approach can really throw you off your game. There is also a good time and a good reminder because MLB Network and Mark DeRosa talked about pitchers, especially the Cy Young. It's early, but we're going to talk about it. Why? Well, one of those pitchers was one of the top free agents out there, and we're going to look to see how some of those other big names are doing. And believe it or not, there are some World Series projections. Do you think the Orioles number is high? Well, you could be surprised. You might be spot on. All of that and more. Ravens, Falcons. Oh, and then, by the way, why not bring on Dan Duquette here at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time to talk about baseball. And guys, I don't know if you realize this, but there's an anniversary, I think it was 10 years ago, where the Baltimore Orioles had 0 fans in the stands, and it wasn't COVID. It's the first time that you have seen something like that in this day and age of time. So all of that, Zach, thanks for joining. How are you feeling today?
I get what Kevin talks about when he says it's horrific being virtual on Wednesdays, having to see you guys get this. And although I will say maybe the one Wednesday I missed being the one that Ryan cooks, maybe that's not the worst thing. I like Kyle
the one
cooking.
that Ryan cooks.
I'm just saying, Kyle's yet to miss. So like the odds of this not, kind of went up of it not being the best with you.
I do want to give Ryan some credit here,
You better
because
give me some credit.
when we went down to Florida, he did cook us some mean breakfast sandwiches. You remember that?
Okay, yeah. You know what? I'll give it to him.
Yeah, you cooked us some mean breakfast. Actually, I
At 3 a.m.
another one of those. So you know what, Zach,
Oh, that
maybe
wasn't really on our way to Florida. That was on the pit stop, like when we got there at 4 a.m. to
You're welcome for the breakfast sandwich, by the way. But
I said,
before we
thank
get
you then.
yeah, okay. But you know what? I can smell and see that the grid will start to heat up a little bit. So I'm going to make my way over there. But again, this episode, guys, is brought to you by our friends over at Merit Clubs. You check it out, meritclubs.com. And look, guys, we were around the stadium yesterday giving people the opportunity to, in person, win some gift cards from the Iron Rooster, which we're going to explain that later on when we get all of that content back. And then also, we're giving out 2-week free memberships. But if you watch the show live, you have that opportunity every single time. So here's the deal. You guys know how it is. All you're going to do, if you want a 2-week free membership on us, the link is right here, meritclubs.com/Ryan-Ripken/ and the code. It's all lowercase, RIP25, RIP 25. And that's all it takes right there. You sign up, people helping people. And it's not just about going in there and working out, just going in there, doing something. You don't have to be like Rocco only does arms, you know? You could go and walk on the treadmill. You could go to the pool. You like Pilates, you like pickleball, you do it all. But don't be afraid to mix in some cardio, Rocco. It's not always arm day. In some cases, it is for our favorite Italian stallion. So, guys, while I transition over, I'm going to bring my mic. Grayson Rodriguez went on foul territory. Let's start this off because the Orioles had a big victory against the Yankees and then followed it up with an absolute mashing. But the conversation was the Orioles had a hitters meeting after. So if we don't mind, Zach, you might have to put that clip back in. But Grayson Rodriguez talks about this hitters only meeting and what the state of the Baltimore Orioles clubhouse is right now.
Yeah, position player side, obviously, you take some veterans that can run the meetings and stuff like that. I mean, that's good. That's kind of saying like, there's really no drama that's happening in the clubhouse right now, which is good. I think, maybe some teams that are losing games kind of have a little bit of, extra drama. Like right now, not really seeing that in the clubhouse. So I think guys are really just trying to figure it out. They're trying to come up with different ways we can score runs, kind of getting back to the basics. But yeah, I mean, nothing crazy happened. Like I said, dude, everybody's in pretty good attitudes and, showing up to the park every day ready to play.
How about that right there? So, Kevin, while I get this situated,
okay, yeah,
don't worry about me.
Don't pull a muscle or something.
Oh, that's not going to happen. But talk a little bit about that and give people context if they missed this situation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Orioles, they're struggling right now, offensively, pitching-wise, even defense-wise. And so there was a hitters-only meeting. Zach, when was it again? It was...
I believe it was before Monday's game. So It was before the victory on Monday. So it felt like it worked. At first it felt like maybe something had changed. Like, okay, it happened. But, after yesterday, that's not looking too great. Yeah,
and look, I mean, things like that can certainly help. I mean, when you're struggling and you're kind of reeling like the Orioles have been this season, and, this is a team that, despite the offseason they had, and that might have tempered expectations for some, still the expectations were there of being a competitive team, competing for the AL East, and they just looked all out of sorts. And so with the offense, we talk about the pitching staff all the time. Here, Kevin and Zach react. A lot of people, it's a big topic of like, they lost Corbin, they didn't replace him, and they decided to go and replace him with a bunch of 35-year-olds, one of which has worked out very nicely in Tommy Cassiano. But, Charlie Morton's been a disaster, and Kyle Gibson's start last night, which we'll get into, was also a disaster. But that's not even like, it's a big storyline, but the fact that the pitching staff has been like that has kind of I don't want to say swept under the rug because people are still talking about it, but this offense, if we just want to look quickly over their last handful of games, I'll just read off the run totals they've had, starting off with their game against the Reds. Or no, let's actually go to the 20. Let's do the 24-2 game because that was a milestone in a bad way. So you have 2 runs, no runs, 3 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs, 2 runs, no runs, 4 runs, 3 runs. You know, you don't have a game above 4 runs since April 20th. We are now 10 days from there. So look, sometimes things like that can help. And we've seen Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn really carry this offense over the last, steady the whole year. But obviously Ryan O'Hearn's had a great year too. And so those are guys that are going to be your vet leaders in the positional groups in the hitting rooms. And, this is still a young team, all things considered. Like obviously the 35, 41-year-olds up that age, but you have young guys like Jackson and Gunnar and Adley and those guys who have gone through struggles of their own. Westberg went through an 0-for-30 spell at one point. So
yeah, I mean, we don't know what with him with the injury, but can Ryan hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Oh, and you should see me.
Yeah, Ryan, I have a question, and I'm not trying to like create narrative or anything about that, but just genuinely wondering, when a players only meeting is called and it's like, okay, we got to sit down, is it something where people are like, hey, let's not go to the media and talk about the players only meeting? Like, is that something, or is that more just because I feel like it's very rare for, like we had the Angels last year, like 3 games in, call a players only meeting. And then that was kind of like, I don't feel like anyone really talked about it. Is that something where it's just like, I mean, not that he really gave any detail to it. Is that something where you're just like, hey, let's just not bring up the players only meeting, or is, you're trying to sweep it under the rug?
Well, it's a good thing you asked real quickly. And hey, how do I look, by the way?
As good as you will.
Yeah, camera's kind of glitching out on us a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, and also you can make it big, make our side bigger and make Zach smaller.
Yeah, let's do that.
Or just
lose them all together. No, keep going, Kevin. Nope, keep going, Kevin. Keep going, Kevin. There we go, Kevin. Boy, here's the deal. Now switch cameras.
It's still glitching out on us.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, look, I think when they say it's like first part of, first rule of Fight Club, first rule of meetings.
That's what I was going to say.
Don't talk about meetings. It's not that it's going to get out there because it's going to be talked about. It's so hard to not be able to keep things out of conversations. Just word spreads. I think what you say in there, though, can't fully be said outside the clubhouse. That's why you have a players only meeting.
And he didn't, he did not discuss anything that was talked about. I was just more, that's why I wanted to preface with not trying to start narrative of like, oh, they shouldn't be talking about this. Was just wondering from a player standpoint if that's something where you're like, if everyone's like, hey, let's not talk about this or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I got no problem that they talk about it to the media. And Grayson, essentially, they're saying there is no drama. And you're right, there isn't any drama as far as the guys like each other. But the reality is they're still not playing well. The offense is not firing on all cylinders. And when that happens, you're going to feel outside pressure. So for the Orioles, they might say, hey, this is getting blown out of proportion. But you know what happens? Losing causes more issues. Winning cures everything. So you can say, hey, everything's fine. The record's going to indicate that to the general public, and your results on the field are going to dictate how people perceive your offense. The Orioles offense has been consistently inconsistent. So I agree with Grayson that, hey, there's no drama, but the reality is for this Orioles team, they are really, really bad in runners in scoring position situations. They are really solid one day, really inconsistent another. And how do you beat a division rival? You're going to have to play better baseball. Luckily, a 15-3 loss only counts as one. But now you got to win this series, because if not, it's another series that you've lost. Baltimore's only had one winning series on the year. So I'm really curious about what it's going to pan out to be, if that makes sense, Zach.
Yeah.
I got no problem with addressing it, because in this day and age, can you hide anything? Can everything be a full secret?
Nope.
No. But what you say in the meeting, now, if there's something you're saying in confidentiality about the players, yeah, I mean, that's something that I would say that's a no-go. You guys remember that White Sox incident last year, by the way, where they had a players-only meeting and the manager came out and literally said what he said in the meeting, and the players just goes, hey, you know, might have known a few guys in the White Sox. They're like, was that really a players only or like a team meeting?
Yeah.
I thought that was what closed within doors. As soon as you take that outside of that, you lose credibility in the locker room. So there's a difference there, and I'm glad we could talk about that in detail. In the meantime, though, Zach, we're going to try to cook this, and we'll keep talking Orioles baseball here. Don't get me wrong. But Kyle, walk me through what the heck I'm going to be doing right now.
All right, smash burgers.
Do I need gloves?
I don't think you'll need gloves on this one. I'll put the raw meat down, so I got gloves on, so we'll be safe, and that way you don't have to worry. Smash burgers are all the rage. If you're seeing them online, everybody's kind of got their own formula, their own recipe for smash burgers. We do a couple at the restaurant, but this we're gonna put a couple of them down. So it's a 4-ounce patty, basically rolled into a ball, and then I'll go ahead and just get it on the grill, and then you'll give them a press here in just a second. I put some. Tell me if you can hear me. I put some red onions in there as well, some raw red onions, so they'll caramelize as we're cooking.
Beautiful.
So I think that's a nice little touch for people at home if you want to make some burgers tonight. I don't know if Joe's watching. I don't have chocolate gravy again this week, but just let him know it's coming. I'm sure Joe's out there.
Yeah.
He's a comment. Yeah, and then we'll season this up with just a little bit of salt and pepper. That way.
Oh, I could have done that, but you do it great. Oh, I'm going to smash.
Yeah.
You hear that, Kevin? I smash.
That's the most important part.
All right, so let's get our. All right, I got a weight. You just want to start giving that a nice press down.
So, okay, is there a style how we press this puppy?
You know, it's really personal preference, but you want to get it. You want to get them kind of down.
So I want it down.
Probably get 2 at a time.
Can we try to get the different camera angle if we can? If we got to fix the cord, we will. Oh, there it is. Kevin, you mind zooming in? Can you get up and zoom in on this camera
Yeah, it's still being funky, but let me zoom.
I want to try to go kind of.
Which way? Oh, do I at the same time?
Yeah, you can get 2 in there. At the
Oh
same
my
time.
goodness, Kevin, how low can you go? Do a little limbo. Did we just freeze? Now we're back. There we go.
And what we're looking for on the smash burger is you want to get a really nice crust.
Yeah.
I've already cooked off some hamburger buns, so go ahead and get them down there. Give them a good smash. There you go. Use that merit membership. I can see the forearms flexing.
You see that? Oh. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. I mean, you're not going to hurt them. They're already gone.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, does this thing get hot on top here?
It might. I got a towel for you if you need it. You can move on to the next one.
Okay. Do they come off? Oh, yeah, they do. See, is that pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on a smaller grill here, so you're the amount that's just smashed, but we're gonna let them cook, so it's gonna take a little while. Do you have any memories of cooking? Do you remember being a kid? Was there things that were kind of on your list of things that they let you cook or that you wanted to cook?
If I'm honest about this,
yeah.
Growing up, I had very conflicting styles with parents and their food choices.
True.
My dad was, more of the flavor, maybe not cooked all the way. You use it?
No, I'm saying on the handle there if it's too hot.
Oh, no, we're good.
Okay.
And then, come on now. The other part, hold on. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. You want, get the juices cooking. Everything's going to kind of blend together. And we'll just give it a couple of minutes.
Is that smashed enough?
I think it's smashed enough.
Smash it. But to finish it, my mom likes everything burnt.
Uh-huh.
So like, hey, I would like toast burnt. Hey, I would like scrambled eggs. Very well done. Like I couldn't have a variation of different eggs. So when you say about contrasting styles, like for me eating a steak now, I'm not going to be Kevin and have it medium well. I need it more medium rare.
Okay.
I want to have the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, I didn't get a chance to. Nowadays,
Yeah.
I think I'm evolving, but I can't say I'm a smash burger expert.
Okay. Well, you will be after today. This will be pretty easy. I similarly grew up in a household. My dad burnt everything. I mean, well done steaks, chicken. He likes the
Sounds like you, Kevin.
end of everything. I mean,
medium well.
all the way through. So you kind of grow up in that house. You get used to eating sort of like that. But For me, it was the Food Network. The Food Network had just kind of come along, and they were showing people how to cook. It used to be where you kind of have to just find a TV show or a show that was showing cooking, but the Food Network really kind of came along and gave guys like me or women like that are out there to like to cook an idea of here's a recipe. And
Yeah,
I liken this to kind of like playing music. If you're first starting out, follow the recipe.
follow the recipe.
Follow the recipe because you kind of learn how things work. You realize what recipes go, what certain ingredients go with each other. And then as you kind of branch out, you can start to really play. And it's just like playing an instrument. You learn how to play kind of, the scales, and then you go into how to actually make music. And then you can just start kind of throwing stuff together. So that's kind of the process that I took.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe I started the process musically. If we're going to stay with that, I played the recorder, so some say that takes a lot of skill. So I jumped the level.
Yeah.
And then, I could have maybe been a violinist or
Did you stop at
flute.
the recorder?
I stopped at the recorder. No one could play hot cross buns like I. Kevin, did you play an instrument?
I played recorder very young, and then I played clarinet for a little bit.
You do look like a clarinet guy.
I was clarinet until the end of lower school, and then I quit because I wasn't good. So
You weren't good at the recorder?
I wasn't good at the clarinet.
Oh,
I would have been recorder would have been
a hell of a recorder player. Yeah.
Hey, what
hot cross buns? I tore up hot cross buns.
Oh, it was great. Zach, do you have a preference?
Yeah,
here?
I was clarinet as well. I played clarinet in third
clarinet
grade.
player too.
Let's go.
Is that a thing?
Only because of squid. In third grade, they were like, "Hey, everyone, you can play an instrument," and that was I was like, "Oh, clarinet, Squidward, boom, that's what I'm playing."
I don't know.
Did it for a year and was like, "Oh, I'm not one musically gifted at all, and two, don't really like the clarinet." So that was the extent of my music background.
Wait, I don't know if they did this at Gilman or Loyola, but did they? For us at Friends, they had us go through every instrument and try it out and see which one you wanted to play.
No.
So you just blind picked.
But you know what? I'll tell you what I wish I did learn.
This was also in third grade.
I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano, but I'm not coordinated.
The piano would have been a good one, but cowbell.
I'm not coordinated. Yeah, you just go more cowbell.
Yeah, but I mean, it's an art to it. And honestly, too, this is for a different time. I haven't heard a song, Kyle, that's bad that has cowbell in it.
Yeah.
And there's an art to
This
it.
is like-
This is Ryan's proudest opinion.
Yeah.
It is.
Go find a song that has a cowbell in it that's bad. Okay?
Not a hot take.
And you're not going to find it. That's a hot take. It's as hot as this skillet right now. You know what'd be a hotter take here, Zach, is to say that the Baltimore Orioles are going to win this game against the Yankees and then have a month in May.
They're favored, and the month of May is very far from being a gauntlet. I believe they have one team currently on the schedule that's currently over 500 on the docket for May. So, hey, if you can win tonight, that's a massive series win going into May. And then, like I said, at this point in May, your goal is to get back to 500. If you can get back to 500 by the end of May, then I think you're cooking with something.
And I mean, look, I'm not going to say it doesn't feel good getting your teeth kicked in after winning a really exciting game one. And Tomo goes out there and does, "Hey, how you doing? Here's a little split work for you." And he's moving the ball left to right. And it's arguably his most dominant performance from a sense of stuff and whiff percentage and all that, to then get followed up where Gibby, I'm glad he's back. Truly, I think he was rushed coming back too. And you get a pissed off Yankees team that just goes big ball. You get a homer. You get a homer. That's what happened early on. And when you fall behind that early, I don't care how good your offense is, it demoralizes you. But it's one game. And now you have a chance tonight. If Povey can get it going and they can get some runs early, Birds win a series, you build a little confidence, and you just keep rocking and rolling here. Before we keep rocking and rolling, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Wednesday, we are cooking with Kyle and the Iron Rooster here every Wednesday. And this week, it's Smash Burgers.
Yep.
the smash rip burger. What do I need to do right now? Am I just watching?
Well, no. I wanted to see the bottom of that was going to go ahead and give him a
Oh,
flip,
you want me to
Ryan.
flip them?
I think you're right.
Yeah. Kevin, you want me to show you what a good flip's like?
Let's see it. Let's see the form.
Oh boy. Look away. Nope.
You're
that's
right-handed
bad.
or left-handed?
I am left-handed.
Is that difficult for you on the?
It's a little challenging.
Yeah. Okay, go to the left.
But I want to be able to,
Some people can't go left.
get there.
Oh,
You know what? I play basketball. I can go both hands.
Okay.
I can go both ways. Oh. Is there an art to this?
Yeah, swiftly, quick. You want to go kind of get in, get under it, and then just give it a nice flip.
Okay. We're going back to left.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, that was brutal.
yeah. It's difficult when you're cooking with somebody. Usually, there's two people on a line, let's say,
Yeah.
and if both of them are, if you're right-handed, I'm left-handed, it's difficult. So the fact
Oh,
that
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the left hand dominant, dude. And I'll tell you what, these forearms, you don't lose those.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you've got a good look at it, but the char that we're looking for, kind of that crust, right? So the sugars of the onions kind of pulled out there, and it's starting to caramelize. So you're getting that brown crust. That's what you're looking for. These aren't going to be much longer on the cook-up side. We'll just give it a nice.
They're giving us pat down. And by the way, and I get it, David in France, bro never flipped a burger in his life. I have. When you're wired up a little bit right here too, and I'm not saying I'm not the one that knows what they're doing in the kitchen all the time. I admit to that. That was not my finest hour. Okay. And I'll throw up my hand. I'm not afraid to say I messed up, not my best work, but we're doing it live.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And that's why we're here. That's why we're cooking. So guys, close out the Kyle Gibson. I don't want to put too much into his first outing to throw it out there, because there's not a lot of positives that you're going to come out of that of just saying, hey, you pitched and you got back up to the bigs. And also people need to realize he rushed to get up here.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge component that we're undermining here, that just like Gunnar trying to get going early, Kyle was trying to get back here because of the injuries. He probably could have used another start or two. And New York welcomed him back, but I think it will get better for him. I hope it gets better for him, but I understand why people are a little bit worried, because the pitching team ERA for starters, it's a little high.
a little bit.
A little high.
A little bit.
A little bit high, to say the least.
So we're going to keep smashing those down.
We're going to keep smashing them?
Yeah. So
A
couple more minutes.
Do you ever just put the towel on you just to like make you seem like,
You feel official now?
yeah,
Yeah.
right? You thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you do at times? You're like,
do.
yeah, Is
The
that
hard part when you're working with the towel, it's usually going to fall off. So it's not practical. Does it look good on TV? Yes. So if you see a cook on TV and usually they're not working, it's
they're not?
It's usually not.
So do I need to take this off?
You're not working, Ryan. You're not working.
Or they just don't know how to balance
No,
it.
I mean, you
It's
look
like-
good with it.
Here's how we do it.
Yeah. I remember Rudy, the movie Rudy, and the guy that plays the custodian. One of the scenes, his boots are completely clean.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad saying at one point we watched that movie, he's like, that's not a real custodian. He's like, his boots wouldn't be that clean. So similarly, a real cook probably isn't keeping the towel on their shoulder, but for the purposes of television, I'd say, you're good to go.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
So where are we on? We think we need a few more minutes for the burger?
We're going to let them cook a little bit longer, but I think we're probably about ready to add some cheese.
Okay.
So, like I said, we've got 3 burgers that we're going to be working on here today. The first one, we're just going to go straight up, good old smash burger. So I've got American cheese here for that. And these are going to be double smash burgers, by the way. So they're 4-ounce patties. So you're really getting an 8-ounce burger. So
Wow.
I think that's going to be kind of maybe right up Kevin's alley.
I needed Zach in here for a little redemption for how he felt. It's going to be hurting for you today.
There's 2
Kev.
pieces. Once you go ahead and you can throw that on the first 2 there.
First
Ryan.
2 there. Okay.
Then-
Yeah, no, Zach would have been trying to rush through these things. They're going to be so good.
Hey Zach, can you
I'm
put up a
disgusted.
poll? Can you put up a poll
Yeah.
for exercise that's today? I think I saw 50 push-ups.
Oh
Me-
my God.
I think 30 squats with the 45-pound.
45? Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what? I will
Shredder,
say
with
that
Shredder.
I stayed after hours and worked on my shot, Ryan, once you left. So
Yeah, how'd that work out? Hey, Zach, can we actually maybe we'll get that clip for everyone in a little bit.
there's no history of it.
No, there's history
No,
of it.
that never happened.
There is history. Hey, but while we are cooking up, and we just talked about pitching, and I saw in the comments here when people are saying, well, the Orioles team was put in a bad position because of their offseason. There's really only one pitcher in my mind that you could have gotten. It was via trade, Garrett Crochet. I didn't think that Burns, we've talked about him. Didn't seem like Max Fried was interested, but guess what? Max Fried, of all the free agents, is making the biggest difference. So, Zach, if you don't mind pulling up that clip from MLB Network and Mark DeRosa talking about just how dominant Max Fried has been so far for the Yankees and where he sits right now as it comes to early AL Cy Young voting.
Said
nice.
he's stepping up. He already did it once in 2022, runner-up to Sandy Alcantara, 5-0, a 1-4-3 baller strike. You want to see the odds? Because it's kind of easier when you see it in graphic form.
Yeah.
Wallen's got him. We're ready.
So Scooble is the favorite.
Well, Scooble's going to be there. He's 1 or 2, so that's done. So it comes down to you think he's going to beat out the field? I would say I'd take the field. Is he going to finish in the top? I would say Ball. Is he going to finish in the top 5? Yes. Ball. And I think that's good enough for them to advance as far as they want to get.
I'm going to say Ball as well. No disrespect to what Max has done because it's been outstanding, and the Yankees have needed it. I like Cole Reagans.
And Brown's on that board, your boy.
If you're looking to take a flyer, plus 1,800. And yes, to your point, Hunter Brown, in his start so far this year, he has pitched like an ace and a pitcher worthy of Cy Young consideration.
So one thing I'll just throw out there, the Orioles do have a lot of tough time facing lefties. Luckily, Max Fried is not pitching tonight for the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Maybe one thing be if you can't hit lefties, you might as well sign them, right? Is that the old saying? Max Fried signed an 8-year deal, and not many teams wanted to go to 8 years. But, guys, that is the one investment of a player that is continuing to show why he did demand as much as he did. He's off to a phenomenal start for the New York Yankees. But the other free agents are still trying to find their way. Corbin Burns being one of them, even though I think Corbin's going to be just fine. But and then, the other ones I'm looking at, Scooble's already stayed in Detroit, Hunter Brown, Cole Reagans. I'm not seeing some of the other big free agent arms. I mean, Zach, maybe am I missing any other ones besides Max Fried is head and shoulders the best one? Maybe Jack Flaherty,
Yeah, it's without a doubt. Right now it's Fried when we talk about just overall who's had the biggest impact on a team and the best start, and especially when you take into consideration Garrett Cole going down, they needed this from Max Fried. It went from a luxury to have this incredible front end of your rotation with Fried and Cole to now all of a sudden Garrett Cole goes down. You needed Max Fried to do what he's doing. So it's been probably the signing of the offseason when you take out Juan Soto because that whole sweepstakes, stole the headlines. But outside of that massive signing, Max Fried has been the best signing probably in free agency so far this season.
And he's lived up to the hype, right? Going to a big market, and especially what they lost, obviously, with the Garrett Cole situation, and you're trying to battle. And Carlos Rodon, one of their biggest acquisitions from a couple of years back, right? He's been off to a very solid start. He obviously pitched well last night for the New York Yankees. And this is the reality of it. You don't know always the free agents that are going to pan out, but at the top of the list, if you're paying a lot of money, you hope you're getting a return on their investment. And so far, the New York Yankees are getting a return on their investment. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right here. We're ready to unveil this before we bring on our guest.
I do want Kevin to bring on the camera.
Can you get this close up? Can you get the close up real quick, Kev?
The camera over.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Come on in. You can go that way, Kev.
You're messing up my whole flow.
I thought that would just save you some time as we walk through right there.
All right, Kev.
What do we got, Kev? Here we go.
All right. I am excited to see this. This is going to be good.
Those look really good.
Yeah, you did a great job. So
I thank you.
we're gonna take them off the griddle now. So I'm gonna hand you over to the trusty spatula.
Okay, great.
First two American cheese on one patty. Second two will be cheddar cheese on the third, and then the other one will be pepper jack cheese on the.
So these two right here on this one.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay, come on now. I'm down.
Get underneath there. Perfect. Yep.
Just like that.
Just like that. Double bacon cheeseburger.
And then this one.
Yep.
Okay. Let's keep going. Come on now.
This will be cheddar cheese, bacon.
Dan probably thinks I'm a fantastic chef, and he should. There's no reason to believe that I'm not. Look at that.
Perfect.
And last one.
Last one. This will be pepper jack and candied bacon. So you're gonna get this sweet, savory. Yeah, this is gonna be exciting.
Oh, I can smell that one more than the rest of them.
Yeah. So on the plain burger, we'll end up going with a garlic aioli. Just put that over the bun there, and then lettuce, tomato, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right.
Show us how it's done.
So we'll go some shredded lettuce, a couple pieces of tomato, and close that way up. And then on this one will be the Maryland burger. So this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to take an Old Bay aioli, Ryan, if you want to go ahead and just top it on one of those tops.
On one of these?
Yep. What about pickles, Kevin? You good on pickles?
Not everyone can do this, Kevin. So take notes if you need help. Just on one of these?
Yep, just on the top there.
Perfect. Oh, that could not be better. You see that, Kevin? You can't teach that. Can't teach that.
And then we're going to go fried onion straws. We'll put that right over. This one's our Maryland burger, so we're going with the Maryland flag there, Ryan, that you got. I think you got everything that I need. Yep. We'll stick that. Actually, we'll go Maryland burger. Yep. And then on this one, you're going to put, that's an Old Bay and honey.
On this one?
Yep, you can put it right over the top there. And then there's also a caramelized onion bacon jam. So as if you needed more bacon.
Seeing a theme here.
You are. And then we're doing blue cheese crumbles on this. Are you a blue cheese fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin? Blue cheese fan. Yeah. I think blue cheese is wonderful. Not everybody does, though. There's plenty of people that just don't have kind of an affinity or a taste for blue cheese. Why don't you give me
too much?
Do the top.
Oh, do the top one? Gotcha. Gotcha. I'll just have that as a snack here.
There you go.
Perfect.
And then I'm thinking maybe a little bit.
I'm gonna have to get Dan's thoughts on all this right now as we.
Where does Dan live?
Well, I'm really curious. I think we'll have to find that out here in just a second as he's ready to go. Any other things that we want to wait to present, or you have final words with these before we?
I'm gonna cut them in half and serve.
All right.
Well, you want to go back to your station?
Yeah, let's go back to the station. We can just do it from right here. I'll stay with you. And
I appreciate the help on the cooking. I felt
of course
I didn't have to do as much today, which is wonderful.
Phenomenal here. Yeah, well, why don't we then, since we have it here, I'm going to walk on over and we'll bring our guest on, Kevin. Is that okay? So let me make a quick move over here. Zach, take over for 1 minute.
This is what I do. I'm glad to take over. I will say this is the missing Wednesdays in the studio has quickly become my least favorite thing on earth because these burgers look incredible. Even Ryan couldn't mess up the burgers. So truly this is sitting here. Kevin, I understand it. When you were saying that it sucks.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Well,
I'm glad you understand.
I'm sorry, Zach. I'm sorry for it. Oh, Kevin, we might have to move the camera back. But in the meantime, that camera right there.
Kevin, the camera. Yeah.
Kevin, the other camera. That one right there. Perfect. We can bring on then our guest here. Does it look? Well, it's not on. Check behind right there on the ground. Is it unplugged? There we go. Little by little, we're taking.
There we go.
There we go. And then we just move it on over. Kevin, the camera's got to move it on over. Perfect. Ready to rock and roll? All right. Without further ado, Kyle, you look great, but we're going to take you off the screen. And we'll take a second here to bring on our guest right now. if you're a Baltimore Oriole fan, you definitely know the name. If you're a baseball fan, you know the man. Dan, you good to go? All right. Let's bring on Dan Duquette. Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you, Ryan? Good to see you.
I'm good. Good to see you too. Sorry, I was trying to work on my cooking. It's our cooking Wednesdays. I'm a gourmet chef.
It looked like you were doing some good. I'm disappointed you didn't invite me in studio, but it looked pretty good what you were doing there.
Hey, where are you? Where are you located? I mean, you're welcome in anytime to cook with us. The Iron Rooster, we're always looking for extra chefs.
We live in outside Wilmington, North Carolina, in Rocky Point, North Carolina, which you may know this, you may not, but that's where Michael Jordan's mother was from. She's from Rocky Point.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our boys are playing ball. We got Brody's a junior. He goes to Topsail High School. He plays first base. And then Colt played in his first perfect game tourney this weekend. He's 10. He's a third baseman. He's a left-handed hitter. And Amy and I, we moved down here a couple of years ago. We were living up in the Cape after I left Baltimore, and it got hectic commuting between the two places. So we're down here, and we like it. A lot of people moved here, and we're happy we did.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about the region down there and area. I did learn something though. I did not know that about Michael Jordan's mother too, and I got to say, though, I mean, I do miss having you up here because it could be easy for you to come by, hang out. I know you're a baseball guy through and through, and I know when my dad got to see you down at spring training, it's always great to see you. And I'm just mad I missed out on it. Do you missing the game as much with this, or is it a little bit stress-free in some cases?
Well, no, I love baseball. I mean, that was my livelihood, and I got a chance to work with people that love baseball too over the years. So I'm maintaining my contacts. I'm doing some work with some clients. We worked with the Orioles a little bit last year, and we're working with some other clubs this year. And we really enjoyed our time in Baltimore, and the fans are just unbelievable when they connect with the Orioles and the team. I mean, it's just unmatched, the enthusiasm. And I think, like, living in the community and being part of a team that's a contending team, there's really nothing like it. There's this great energy and this feel good feeling every time you come to the ballpark. And when you have that going for you, I mean, there's just a great energy. When we made the playoffs, all the Ravens would come, right? They'd come and see us, and some of their guys would be in my box, and they were around the ball club, rooting on Adam Jones and Chris Davis and those guys. But there's just nothing like Major League Baseball. There's only one Major League, right? Mm-hmm. And I love baseball, and I love the big leagues, and I was glad to see the Orioles do well. They don't have as good a ball club this year as they've had in the past, but they still have a lot of young talent, very capable guys.
Yeah, I was going to be curious. A couple of things I'm curious on, and maybe I'll save the last thing for the end when you talk about the passion with the fan base and the community. I'll save that one for the end, Dan. The one that you mentioned about the team, right? And going through it, and maybe you can give context because you've had to deal with this over and over. How do you value free agents and for the years that players want and with the arm issues? So we just talked about before, like Max Fried. Fried got an 8-year deal. And obviously he's a talented pitcher, right? But some teams are afraid of locking in that much. Where do you stand on trying to, navigate those types of negotiations? Because it is I don't want to say it's a sensitive topic, but it's definitely a talked about conversation when it comes to signing big names.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the risk reward profile, right? In Max Fried, you hit on the probably the upper echelon free agent, right?
Yeah.
This year, and the Yankees had the money. They gave him the extra year. They trumped the market, and they have him. And I saw him pitch last year at Fenway when he was with the Braves. I was in there for an event, and he's got some kind of hellacious stuff. I mean, he had like 3 pitches that was I don't know how they hit him, frankly, that night. And I think the Red Sox got like 2 runs off him. But I mean, the Yankees have the resources to trump the market, and so it's not that big a deal for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about look what the Dodgers did when they won the World Series, and they lost all those pitchers, and they just reached down into their resource bin, and they pulled out some more pitchers.
Yeah.
They went out and traded for pitchers, right? Well, if you don't have that deep resource base, you got to have an alternative plan, and especially with your pitching, right? And you've got to have depth to your pitching staff, and then you got to have the know-how and how to train them and how to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge for everybody, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at the MLB injured list, it's doubled since 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
It's doubled. Okay. The amount of time players spend on there, and 70% of it is the pitching. So whoever can figure that out is going to get the most out of their resources. And we all know from experience that you got to have a good pitching staff or you don't have a good ball club.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth, right? And right now with the Orioles' struggles, the two things the one thing that gets overlooked in my mind is situational play. If you execute runners in scoring position, you win the close games, 1-run games, able to play from behind. You execute situationally, you have a chance, but it doesn't matter at all if your pitching can't hold up. And for the Orioles, that has been the sore right now. Starting rotation is towards the bottom, not being able to go into the 4th, 5th inning and constantly playing from behind. You know this, Dan, but you can have the best lineup in the world, but it does weigh a toll when you're trying to always play catch up. Guys want to put more pressure on themselves. I guess then when you're dealing with this, you've dealt with probably every situation, I'd like to say, as far as a GM, where you've had the great moments, the not so great moments. How do you try to navigate that? Like in Baltimore right now, how do you navigate the early going to try to evaluate? And when in your mind, Dan, I told people this before, I can't remember too many early April trades. Do you throughout your career of teams wanting to be aggressive, trying to go get a guy early in the season?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of clubs will evaluate their team in spring training, and then they'll watch their club play April, and then when you get to May and you get towards Memorial Day, you should have a pretty good idea of what you have on your club, right? And you have a pretty good idea as to how competitive you are and where you sit. So, I don't see a lot of activity on the market, on the trade market. The big thing coming out of spring training is knowing what you have, and then seeing if you were right, seeing if your club comes together. Sometimes you can have a plan and then it just falls apart, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard because you need so much depth. And if you take a look at the Orioles this year, it's really about their starting pitching, right? They've got 7 potential starting pitchers that aren't available to them or on the disabled list.
Right.
And it's like I said earlier, unless you're the Dodgers or you're the Yankees, then you can trump the market. Any ball club is going to struggle.
Yeah.
Any ball club is going to struggle when you have those kind of injuries, because first of all, there's not enough pitchers to go around to start with.
Oh gosh.
There's not enough good ones. And then if the ones you have are hurt, now you're into a really thin development, and then all of a sudden you don't have the innings, right? If you don't have a couple of pitchers that you can depend on every time your rotation goes around, you're struggling for innings on your ball club every night. Yeah. And that's not a formula for a successful club. So the great, I mean, you know this, the great Oriole teams, they always had good pitching, right? They always had a knack of their starters going deep in the games, and that's no different. That's no different now.
For sure. You mentioned about things going over on the wayside, a plan not going according to plan. Do you have any of those memories throughout the years? Do you have a few of those?
I'm confident I do. You talk about risk for pitchers, right?
Yeah.
And how much risk you're willing to take for your team. Okay. Yeah. So if you look at the risk profile and you see that the pitchers comprise like 70% of the amount of time on the disabled list, that tells you that, number one, you need a lot of pitchers. Number two, you got to be careful about what you pay them.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you do sign the ones and you give them a lot of money and then they don't perform at the expected level, say that they've established for themselves or the level that you expected them to perform at, well, then, you're kind of out of options unless you have a stable of pitchers in your minor league. And if you have a stable of pitchers in your minor league, you wouldn't be out there shopping on the major league free agent market, right?
That's
so. It's a juggling act. Some years your team comes together. Our team came together in 12 because we went out and got some starting pitchers. It came together in 14, but then when that rotation of players was done, we didn't have the pitchers ready to step in and help us compete. And then the team went into a rebuild.
Yeah, it's a good point. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But it's really risky the way pitchers train if they're going to max out on every pitch. And that's the way they're going to go about it. And that's the training model for the industry. Well, that's a lot different than the great Oriole teams. The great Oriole teams didn't go about it that way. They went about getting their starters ready and getting the most innings out of their starters that they could. And I'm not so sure that's not the best way. It worked. It's always worked pretty well for the Orioles. Yeah. I remember I was really close to Herman Starrett, who was a pitching coach in the Oriole organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to know Herm. He was a pitching coach in Milwaukee for George Bamberger, who was credited with developing the great Oriole pitching staffs, right? And those guys developed pitchers by getting them to think about throwing strikes, helping them throw strikes, and then going with their best pitches, right? They didn't really try to overpower them. They conditioned their pitchers and tried to keep them healthy. And then when I went to the service when Herm passed away, okay, I got to tell you this story.
Yeah,
his Herm was the minor league pitching coach when your grandfather was the field coordinator for the Orioles in Thomasville, Georgia.
Wow. Yeah.
And I went into Herm's living room, and his daughter was so proud to show the picture of your dad and your uncle and your grandmother and grandfather next to them in Thomasville, Georgia, with the Starretts the year that Cal Ripken Sr. was the field coordinator and Herm was the minor league. So in other words, they ran the minor league camp, right?
Right.
And I mean, that's that's the Oriole tradition, right? That's the Oriole way, of the fundamental way of doing things, positively correct, right? Both
Right.
as a position player and as a pitcher. And that's the system that your dad came up under, right? And that's the system that he taught your family. And I was so pleased when you got the opportunity to play for the Orioles, because it's a great honor to follow in the tradition of your family, right? And get an opportunity to prove yourself and get an opportunity with the Orioles. So I never told you that, but I was happy that you got a chance to establish yourself, and then now look how you got to make it a living, right? By leveraging your experience with the Orioles, your experience in the game, and doing what you're doing around the ball club. I'm just really happy for you, Ryan.
Well, I appreciate it. I got to be honest too, Dan, when I came to the organization, when you guys gave me a chance, I was nervous as hell, and mainly because I already wasn't handling pressures and expectations well. I try to, at that point, I wish I could say I could clear my head. And that was a hard thing for me to do because of the constant comparisons. And I thought, well, would that draw more attention being on that team and the organization? But that's why, I have such love for the group, as people do understand that was a big part of my family and upbringing. And it was the opposite. I felt the most comfortable I had in my entire career. I felt my drive and love for the game come back. And that passion of why I started playing in the first place. I didn't start to play because I was trying to live out a legacy. I was playing the game because I loved it. And sometimes along the way, we get not distracted, but you can be pushed aside your thoughts. And, it sometimes the game can be ruined for you when you let other aspects bother. At the end of the day, I just wanted to play baseball. So I appreciate you guys giving me the chance and opportunity. And I met some great guys along the way. Like, I love seeing my guy, Seti Mullins, is doing his thing still with the big league team.
Yep. Good for him. So, So I want to tell you a little story. I have had the opportunity in Boston to work with Carl Yastrzemski.
Yeah.
And he, of course, he's the iconic player. And, if there's a perfect bookend to your dad's career in Baltimore, in Boston, it's Carl Yastrzemski, right? 3,000 hits, 400 home runs. They both played their entire careers with one organization. So anyway, Carl comes to me and he said, Dan, Michael Yastrzemski had gotten drafted a few times. And he came to me and he said, Dan, do you think you can give Michael a shot? And I said, yeah, I think I can. I said, but what about the Red Sox? And Carl said to me, he goes, well, I think it would probably be better for Michael if he got an opportunity with somebody other than the Red Sox. Right. And if you could take him with the Orioles, I would really appreciate it. So we drafted him. Michael did very well. And then, your dad came to me and he asked me the same question. And I said, this is before you signed with the Nats.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to tell you a little story to inform your experience from my experience. And I told him the story about Carl Yastrzemski when he came to me. And I said, it might be better if he got an opportunity somewhere else. And then if that doesn't work out, come back and see me. Keep us in mind. So you signed with the Nats, right?
Yeah, I got drafted by them, signed with them.
Got drafted by the Nats, signed with them. I bet Billy probably helped you get on their radar. And then when you had another opportunity, you were available on the market. That's when we signed you, and it's worked out pretty good, right? Everything.
Oh, for sure. I
mean, all things considered, you got an opportunity, right?
Oh yeah.
And you got a chance to develop your skills and find your way.
For sure. I mean, I even remember, I think the options that I was talking to was like the Rockies, Giants, and the O's. And I'm like, damn, if I come back to Baltimore, am I going to feel all the weight of the world on my shoulders? And again, it turned out to be the opposite because, the people there underneath, Brian Graham, old farm director for the Orioles, and all the coaching staff on top of it, they helped me find my way again. So I appreciate it. And it's always fun to look back, right, Dan? On
yeah, exactly. I mean, but you got an opportunity, and you had a couple of good years.
Yeah. I mean, look, I wanted to figure out if I could do something. I got hurt a ton with the Nats. I don't know if you knew that. I was hurt a ton with the Nats. And then I had personal things going on in life. So we talked about the mental game. I actually, and Kevin and Kyle in here, I just talked to John Smoltz. So we're going to release that down the road here on Legends of It, and just talking about going through tougher times that people don't understand. And you're going to fail.
Right.
And I failed a lot early, and then I couldn't figure out how to get back on track. And so, I just wanted to say, if I came to the Orioles and I got the chance and I could get out of my own head for just a little bit, see what I could do. And I think the coolest part was in 19, then unfortunately, I know obviously it changes, right? You go, Buck goes. I got a chance, though, because you guys gave me the opportunity to sign. And then I start to put things together. Then COVID happens. But I proved myself in Double-A.
You did.
Hey, I can do this. Took Greg Holland deep in the playoffs. I'm like, okay, I'm glad he didn't throw me a splitter as he's trying to get ready to maybe help the Nats win a World Series. And it just was a cool reminder. So I love the inner workings, and I tell people this all the time, Dan. Baseball is such a brotherhood, and the community and the relationships.
Yeah. Yep.
That's where you really miss the most about it is the people, not necessarily the results. And I think that's why you connected so much with the people here in Baltimore is that people sense that, from the start. So I really appreciate you taking time today, Dan. One thing I got to ask you on the way out, you still were a part of one of the craziest things. I guess it's the anniversary of it when the Orioles played a game with no fans.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It
was the riots were going on in Baltimore and they shut it down. And I remember Gary Thorne acting like a PGA golf announcer.
Yeah,
double was hit. I guess to say, is there anything that surprises you when you hear about it in baseball, or do you expect the unexpected with this sport?
Well, I mean that was a unique situation, right? We had the riots downtown. We had the National Guard using Camden Yards as a staging area.
I forgot.
And we were just trying to play ball, right? It's kind of interesting. I was out, I think, getting a coffee I was doing a morning show with Morning Joe with Mike Barnacle over by the Hilton, and this guy goes by on a bike, and I'm just getting off the stage of the show, and he goes, "Hey Dan, can you help me get into the game?" So it was your dad. So I said, "Oh yeah, sure, come on by." So your dad was able to see the game, and I remember it was like you could hear the guys upstairs, right? There was nobody in the ballpark, so whatever went down on the field, it echoed up into the press box.
What an experience! That's like playing at a minor league stadium that you never heard of, and maybe it rained all day, and you have a 9 o'clock start time, and you might have 2 people in the stadium, and it's the announcers for that game. But it was Camden Yards.
Yeah, it was unique. I remember Samardzija would grunt on every single pitch that he threw, and that's all you would hear it echoing throughout the ballpark. I'm glad the fans were able to come back shortly thereafter.
Yeah, me too. But Dan, I appreciate you taking the time. Anything that we should know about that you're doing before I let you go?
I'm working with a company called Regain Laser, and we're working closely with the Ravens this year, the Phillies, the Red Sox, and the Twins. We did a study with the Orioles last year, and it's a high intensity laser it penetrates the skin and it gets deeper than other lasers. And it is drawn to the swelling. It alleviates the swelling and it stimulates the mitochondria. You remember that from biology, Ryan, the powerhouse of the cell?
How could I forget the powerhouse of the cell? Of course.
So it enhances healing, and we're working with some clubs on that. And I'm still running my sports camp up in the Berkshires, and following the Orioles closely. We got a lot of close friends there in Baltimore, and of course, we love the fans.
And the fans love you, Dan. Well, I appreciate all the time. And when you're in Baltimore, then next time, one, I got to see you, and two, I got to see Chef Duquette in action here.
Yeah, well, I can make good burgers. Best to your family, Ryan. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Dan. Appreciate you. Dan Duquette, everybody. Oh, man, it was great catching up with Dan.
That was awesome.
And Dan was a guy, Kyle, for you, if you didn't hear that part of it, Dan was a big reason to help me try to get back on track after all my personal things with family, my injuries, and he and the Orioles gave me a chance. It was between them, the Rockies, and the Giants in 2017.
It would seem like he cared.
He cared.
He
cared.
It wasn't just a business.
No,
Yeah.
he truly cared, and you could feel that.
Yeah.
So it was that's why he always connected with the city. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right here on the Ryan Ripken Show. And now, because I don't want to talk, I know it's a little bit colder, but I saw your look. I looked over.
Yeah.
And you went like you gave the.
I was happy with the way those came out.
All right, which one am I starting with here?
All right,
Kevin, you want to show the photo or show the burgers over there?
Let me move my computer out of the way.
No, yeah. So you can get the front shot of your camera right there.
I think you go with that with
which
any
one do
of
I
them.
go with?
I don't think that there's really a necessary.
Well, we should do the same one. So whichever.
I would say go with the plain one. So
the plain one is
the one with the American cheese.
Yes, don't focus on me.
Got the
Focus. There we go.
pickles.
Oh, look at that.
So it's this one.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
that's just plain jam.
That one? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yep.
No, don't focus on me. Focus on the burgers.
Wow.
Here, let me see if I can.
But I still feel like even though they've been sitting for a little bit,
Oh.
it's kind of like when you go to a barbecue. You know what I mean?
Oh,
the
my
burgers are still
goodness.
sitting there.
Turn the
Look at
plate
that.
now. Turn the plate now, Kevin.
Oh.
Other way now. Use those arms. Can't wait for you to do this workout in a little bit.
I know. I'm working out right now. Turning this plate around.
You're almost like a mic. You're in a microwave right now.
hate every second of this. This is atrocious.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So
I
recap.
I almost lost one right there.
We'll do recap. 3 different smash burgers. One's just a plain American cheese, pickles, tomatoes, lettuce, bacon, of course.
Oh,
Second one would be the Maryland burger, which is fried onions and bacon, cheddar cheese, Old Bay aioli. And then the third one, we call it the Southern Charm City burger. First time making its debut.
Woo.
And that's got caramelized onion, the bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, an Old Bay and honey drizzle, blue cheese crumbles. Yeah, go
Oh,
for
boy.
it.
All
Guys.
right, I'm gonna the
Wait,
first
which
one,
one?
the one with the pickles, and change the camera angle real quick, Kev. So
hold it up.
this one,
It's got the pickles in there.
the one that has the pickles, Kevin. No pickles. That's like a SpongeBob reference.
Yeah, that's SpongeBob.
It's the one with the tomato. There you go, Kevin.
Did you say
That
it's the
one.
one with bacon?
It's the one with the tomato.
The one with the tomato. That's better. Did you really say the one with bacon? All of them have bacon.
Yeah, we making bacon.
Okay,
We
I'm
don't
just.
mess
Is it
with
this one?
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Have a day, have a night, have a bite. Cheers.
Even though it's been sitting, still does it.
Oh, still good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Holy hell.
Oh man. I might need 5 of these.
That's just the first one.
Yeah. So it's layered, right? You should
Oh,
be
my
picking up.
goodness.
Now you made those, Ryan. I can't take credit for. I can take credit for the
Yeah.
They,
idea.
they say it tastes better when you make it
Compliments
yourself.
to the chef.
Yeah,
Mhm.
compliment. Well done, Kevin. Yeah.
Zach, you hear that?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Zach abandoned his post.
This is atrocious.
That would do.
They're
Would be
sitting here.
So that would be
The
the
fried onion one?
Maryland burger.
This one right here?
Yep. Yeah, it's got the fried onions. Yeah, an Old Bay aioli. We call that one the Maryland burger.
Oh boy.
And that one started in College Park. We started doing that one down in College Park, and yeah, it was. I said we got to do it everywhere. It's one of those burgers. You're like, yeah.
Well, we're about to do it then, right here. You ready for bite 2?
Oh, you're doing bites?
Kevin.
I was eating the.
You got to eat the knife. At least take a bite of the knife.
He's just like me. He's just like me, Kevin. I ate the whole thing too. Don't be ashamed.
I would say in honor of Zach, because that's typically a Zach move.
In honor of Zach.
This is just the hungry seed. It makes you hungry.
Zach would
$8, I'm telling you.
Finish every burger.
Okay. All right. So we're doing bites.
Yep. Hey, have a day. Maryland burger. Have a day, have a night, have a bite.
Oh my god.
Good, right? Yeah, that one.
The flavors mix really well.
Yeah, I when we did that burger, I mean, not to put fried onions on anything, it's really going to taste good. At times we were like, we should put fried onions on something. We're like, we put fried onions on a lot of stuff, guys. It's good,
right?
But enough for the fried onions.
Then the Old Bay.
The Old Bay is the
yeah.
It's like the final.
Yeah, it makes it perfect.
Taste at the end.
Yeah.
That brings the flavors together.
Yep.
Man.
I'm gonna enjoy eating all these, and I don't have to do the workout, Kevin.
I know. Yeah, you're off the hook for this week.
All right, and then the next one would be the Southern Charm City burger, which is Old Bay and honey, blue cheese crumbles, candied bacon. So this one's gonna be a bit more sweet.
Okay.
Salty patty, and then lettuce. A little bit. I think we might have put some tomato on there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, cheers.
All
Hey,
right,
have a
cheers.
day, have a night, have a bite.
This is torture just watching this.
Every one is good.
Different, right?
And
That one's a little bit
It's a different
different.
good, yeah.
Yeah. Got more of a sweet.
I do like the sweetness to it. The sweetness that makes it really good. Zach, how do you enjoy?
This is horrible. This is horrible sitting here.
There's
Smash Burger Day 2.
the 100
Oh my.
men against the gorilla conversation, but
I might go through a grill to get to these burgers.
do you go smash burger now? The debate back and forth, or is it just those big, thick, juicy hamburgers? But I think smash burger, especially if you grew up eating burnt food as you and I did as kids, the smash burger kind of works.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Yeah, easy to prepare.
Wow. Man, damn, I did good. And you too, Kyle.
Ryan,
Compliments to the chefs.
Yeah.
Chefs.
Yeah, the chefs. Plural.
Only true chefs leave their towel up here.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was really the towel that gave you the powers.
Well, he
man.
kept the apron on throughout the interview too. I thought I'm just gonna let him roll with
It's
it.
a good touch.
It just shows you, You're
committed to the craft.
Man, I don't even know which one to finish because they're all so good. I don't want to lose them.
Kevin, you just got it all. Also, Kevin, just a quick update.
You can
40
and you don't need to grill.
40 push-ups is currently in the lead.
Grill for it. You can do it in a saute pan. If you got a little flat top griddle or pan, you can do it. You can do it on there. Just be careful. I would say if you're cooking over an open flame, just be careful with kind of the splatter of the grease coming off. But other than that, no, that's something that all can do at home. But please come in the restaurant, try a smash burger, get a Maryland burger.
Yes, highly recommend.
Yep.
So the Maryland one's the only one on the menu?
The regular smash one, the first one you had, and the Maryland burger, and then the Southern Charm City burger will go on the menu here in just a couple of weeks when we finish up.
Wow.
Zach, what are you saying?
Oh, Zach's giving the update now on what your
it looks like we've got I did 25 burpees, 40 push-ups, 40 squats, 40 sit-ups.
Man, you couldn't lower that number for me.
I went from 50 to 40. Okay, I went 50 to 40. So,
man,
but Kevin, 40 push-ups is the pretty overwhelming favorite at the moment. 40%.
Row
burpees. I thought burpees was going to run away with it. Only at 33%, and then 40 squats got 19%, and sit-ups got 7.
All right.
So
stretch.
I know.
So
Those arms ready.
Well, I gotta finish my burgers first. I'm trying to savor every bite over here.
Yeah. How many push-ups can you do?
Well, I was telling Kyle, I think the most I've ever done in a row was probably 30, maybe 25. Actually, I don't know if I should give myself that much
Personal
credit.
record.
So are we taking a break in between?
There's no way he does 40 straight.
Yeah, no, there's no way. That's another side bet. If
That's
Kevin,
where
Can
as
you-
we're sitting here, though, Kyle Stowers 2-run homer off of Tony Gonsolin.
Man, he's killing it.
I get my updates on Stowers and Norby. You know, I get the updates on him.
How's Norby doing this year? I haven't kept up as much as I should.
He's doing well. He's batting 256 right now, but he's only gotten
That was the key.
needed the opportunity. That's all I needed.
he's only gotten 38 at
On the-
bats so far.
Next, talk about. Do they work? I mean, it's one thing to have these team meetings, but can you think of a time
A team meeting worked.
where it was like they had a team meeting and then this happened? Because nobody likes meetings, first of all. No one wants to sit in.
That's true.
That is a good point. But is a meeting like a coach freaking out on you? Is it just we're talking player only meetings?
Well, let's think. If you said player only, has there been a time that one can remember?
I had one in the minor leagues.
Yeah, and then what happened
We lost 6 in a row.
afterwards?
Mhm.
Is it just like one player like giving you the business, or is it just like, hey, everybody?
Yeah,
share
that
your
was the other
thoughts?
question. Who calls that
Yeah.
meeting?
Usually coaches will call it at those points.
They'll say team meeting,
Team meeting.
players only.
Well, if it's just players, some guys will be like, hey, we're gonna have a players only meeting, you do that. And usually that goes fine. You're right. It's usually okay. When it's a team meeting and the coach is in there, better get ready to get ripped.
Yeah.
And I mean torched.
Who calls the Orioles team meeting, you think?
Well, for the hitters meeting, I think it was Seti and O'Hearn.
Okay.
Which is it was.
I've been chewed out a few times. Not me personally, like collectively.
Yeah.
Usually that's by the manager.
Or
But-
the GM.
No, I mean, one of my favorite ones was we won our first 7 games, in Low A in Delmarva, and we thought we were so good. And then we went on the road and then lost like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then we came back and our hidden coordinator came in town, and I guess we still like felt good, or some of the guys felt good. So our hidden coordinator who roams called us and he's like, hey, we're just going to go to the cage. And there's only one cage underneath underneath the stadium. He goes, all right, you guys, let's just sit down for a minute. He's like, how do you think you guys are doing? Like, oh, doing okay. Could be better. He's like, oh, because you like Low A? You're like, yeah, like so far it's been fine. He goes like, oh, so you're enjoying your experience? You want to stay here? And I'm like, well, no, I'd love to keep moving. He goes, well, you might not have to stay here. And here's why. You're not going to get moved up if you keep playing the way you guys do.
Yeah.
And he said some other words too that were pretty comical. He goes, everything's better in the big leagues. You guys now want to be in the big leagues? And I think someone made the comment of like, oh, I don't, just joking.
Yeah.
He goes, well, good. You never will. And I'm like, oh, goodness. And it was one of the single guys. And he goes, you think someone's going to give you the time of day in Low A? Or do you think they're going to give you a time of day in the bigs? That for itself. He goes, you might be a lonely guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shots fired here in the Low A and Delmarva. But message was received. That one player ended up going on a hot streak. I think he ended up hitting like 290.
So that worked.
Mhm.
There was that famous scene in Moneyball, right? When Brad Pitt goes in the locker room and says, this is what losing and winning sounds like. And you think of that, smashing a speaker or throwing the stereo on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, actually, Zach, this is probably how the meeting went with the Orioles on Monday. Was, guys, we got to get it together, and we really have to come together as one and decide: are we going to be one unit versus one gorilla, or are we just going to be
Oh my God.
35 players, 100 players individually against this one gorilla. You know?
Who do you think wins, the Orioles and their entire farm system or the gorilla?
Well, if you come together, you have a chance. And that's like 200 people in the organization, by the way. If there was 200 Kevin Ostrikers against one gorilla,
it'd be over in the first Kevin Ostriker.
You could take just one of you.
Just one.
Could take
Just
the
one.
gorilla.
They got to get more gorillas.
Ryan's right. It's about the strategy. You know, you can't let it. As long as it doesn't get his hands on you, you're in the clear. You just gotta act fast.
Someone's gonna die in that scenario at first, right? There's gonna be sacrifice.
I don't know. People are like trying.
Yeah. You got to have the distraction.
And I'm just like, please, no one actually attempt this. Like, at least I hope no one actually attempts it.
Oh, welcome to the internet. Someone will.
You know, Ryan Ripken show.
Versus
gorilla.
How do we do that?
The gorilla. Maybe I'll just dress up in a gorilla costume and I'll fight the four of you.
Hey, can we pull up that video then real quickly? Because apparently a former member of the Ryan Ripken show, still a member when he wants to be, part of the second best conference in college, the SEC, back in his day. Zach, can you pull up Nick Moore's conversation about the 100 versus 1?
Yeah, let me pull this up real fast. Awesome. Yeah, let's
let that one rock.
Unarmed men versus one gorilla. Who's winning?
Well, it depends. Is
I feel like
100 men, are they all been Cleveland's? Because then the men would win.
This is true. That's a very good.
Or Matabike.
Yeah. I don't know though, man. If it's like King Kong or something, it's gonna be a tough day.
Well, I don't know if King Kong's real.
Yeah, but maybe.
Can 100 sane men take on one gorilla? The answer to that is indefinitely no.
Oh, that gorilla smacking everybody. It's over with. The gorilla who in it.
This is where it gets tricky. If you can find a little bit screw loose, just a tad bit screw loose, more so, I'm not going to say insane men, but just a little bit off.
What you think?
For you?
Yeah. Not for anybody.
Gorilla.
Gorilla? No, I'm picking man. I'm scooping the gorilla.
Basically, here we go. All 100 men, the only thing that they were not promised tomorrow unless they beat this gorilla. That would make you basically like, it's probably unalive either way. You're unalived either way.
The gorilla? Crazy?
What if he is? I feel like the gorilla's gonna win.
I'm going with Ben Cleveland. Ben Cleveland's got it.
I'm going with the gorilla.
I would like about 10 Ben Cleveland, and Travis Jones, and Matabike. I know Pierce is retired, but I would really like Pierce to come out of retirement for this journey. And then lastly, Lamar Jackson. Not that he's going to help really fight, but has that gorilla seen someone move like this that could catch the gorilla's eyes every once in a while? So he's almost, we got to protect Lamar. Obviously, we don't want him. If it's, all 99 go down, Lamar can he gets a free pass. So you want him to, because has that gorilla seen that? I don't think he has.
I think gorilla wins. I don't think we got a shot. Gorilla's too strong, man. I don't think we can do it.
You got to be about 300 range.
I'll be honest, Marlon giving like 12 different answers. I kind of got lost after one.
You can see the wheels turning of who he.
I like his strategy about bringing Lamar though, just to distract. Like just have one super fast guy that the girl is like, what's going on? Maybe a quick distraction.
You know who's an underrated guy that might have an actual impact on that? Harbaugh. He has grown man strength. That man will work out religiously. Harbaugh could maybe give you a little something.
Harbaugh being there saying who's got better than us as we're heading into the gorilla.
Yeah, he'll motivate the guys to go, and
he'll tell it to the gorilla who has it better than us. Nobody,
not you. And then they all charge in.
Could be the case.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe 100 Aaron Donalds.
Yeah.
That would be, that's unfair to the gorilla.
Also, that Aaron Donald's still so freakishly in shape. It's unbelievable. I would take Tyler Linderbaum, by the way. I'd take Linderbaum's.
What baseball player would you take 100 of? It can be current or former.
It would have to be, former Barry Bonds. Like, you give me
I don't know. I feel like
Right now, Aaron Judge.
you gotta be able to withstand some serious like.
You
pain.
give me 100 Mark McGuires.
Tommy was a beast.
Tommy, Mark McGuire,
Yeah.
Albert Bell.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bobby Bowe.
Yeah.
And also
Giancarlo Stanton, like prime Giancarlo Stanton before the surgeries when he was a little more fleet of foot, I would take him.
This is my favorite answer, but Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, for vibes, I would do it. I would do it for vibes.
I'm really curious on what's the weight of
Frank Thomas is a good one.
Of a silverback gorilla?
Yeah.
Are you looking it up?
I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 500 pounds.
It's between 300 to 500 pounds. And it says they're over 9 times stronger than an adult male. So in that theory, you get the right people, then you should win.
The math works out.
The math checks out, except though no one feels confident that man can win.
Who's the first one in the cage? That's the.
Yeah,
real-
Oh my god!
That's the other debate. Yeah, that's the other
Is
debate.
it one? Okay, is it 100 at a time or one? Like you just have 100 people. in
No,
the
it's 100 at a time. It's
Yeah,
not
but
1-on-1. It's
the
100 at a
strategy of it,
time.
Like, do you let like 5 of the strongest go in, like kind of wear it down a little bit, and then the rest can kind of gang up on it? Like,
You overwhelm it at first. You overwhelm it.
So we'll put Kevin in there first.
Yeah, you just got to overwhelm it because once it starts kind of being like if you start off like 5-6 and allow it a little one-on-one time, like it's gonna gain confidence
quickly enough. It'll regain all of it. It's not going to expend enough energy if you just throw one person at a time.
It will.
Yeah, exactly. You got to. I think you probably send in a wave of. I would send the first wave of about 25 people.
Yeah,
I feel if everybody like just imagine this, like 100 people jumping on this gorilla, I feel like it gets so disoriented and like.
Right.
But again, I think people are wondering if it, like, one swing of the arm, is that like 5 guys just, take it out?
It could be, though. It could be like if he throws, like if he grabs one, like Kevin, like you are very much
if there was
threat
100
for him to grab you and throw him into us.
Just use me as a human like sword, just like swing.
But he could, and if he grabbed you by the legs and starts spinning, that's taking a lot of people out.
Yeah, I know. Kevin. Yeah, you could be used as a weapon against the other people.
Yeah, I think. At which point it might have to
against the other Kevins. Yeah, that's tough. Well, guys, that was something. That was something.
That was something.
Well, I think because we got a lot to wrap up, so we should wrap up for today, I think. Yeah. And I know we're talking about trying to do call-ins. I got to do radio tonight for 105.7 The Fan, so I'll be doing pregame down at Pickles. And
Kevin has push-ups.
Kevin's got to get ready for the push-ups. And while we're getting ready for the push-ups, we'll take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Beautiful. And Zach, last night, no Ellie De La Cruz for your dinger card. You got someone else on the market tonight?
Going Gunner. He did last night.
Carrasco.
Yep. Gunner tonight. I think I think the Orioles win tonight. I do. I think that Carrasco is not having a great year. I think it was a blessing, a massive blessing for the Orioles that they avoided Max Fried. I think they get to Carrasco tonight. I think we see Gunnar Henderson. I'm going to go 2+ bases. I won't go home run. I think he could hit a homer, but if we're going to bet, be a little bit more responsible, not just take all dingers, I'll go 2+ bases for Gunnar Henderson.
2+ bases and an O's win.
Yeah. I think the O's win. O's pull it off.
So there you have it. 2+ bases and an O's win. And if you're riding with Zach, let us know. And if you aren't, well,
also let us know.
Also,
let us know where the haters are.
But right now, you put that together, 100 to win 207. Just saying, when I move, you move. Just like that. Appreciate our friends over at Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races. And as always, if you are interested in being a Penn Play member and you download ESPN Bet, you bet online, you get $100 in Penn cash. You sign up for ESPN Bet app to receive your first 50. You make a deposit to get your next 50. But you got to use the code 50PEN50. in order to get the $100 in Penn Cash. And if you got a problem, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 years or older. And also, you got an issue, give Rocco DeSangro a call, and he'll be able to scare you, put you in the right. Yeah, he will assist.
Well, we also have to stop bringing Rocco because he always messes up our parlays when we go.
He does. Hip, hip, parlay. All right, Kevin, do you want to knock this out for us? Do you want me to move on over there?
Yeah, I'm just putting the down in the rest of this.
It's been stretching for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I've been stretching behind the scenes here. So it was 40, Zach, 40 push-ups?
40 push-ups. Let me make sure that was a.
Well, which one are we using?
Yep.
I mean, you probably got to get over here. Okay. Come on, buddy.
I'm finishing.
Are we still leading?
Is it straight through, or is this 2020? Okay.
We got to vent. I do not see Kevin being able to. Someone's got to change the
Take
camera.
the burger with him.
I gotta make sure I finish it.
Nutrition
I
first.
want to change the camera angle.
Sure, 6 patties.
One's changing the camera.
Not as much that I'm trying to lower this.
I'm just waiting to see if they change the camera angle. I'm in the same boat as you guys right now.
I'm very thankful. I don't have
Kevin, can you hear me? Kevin, can you hear me?
Did you pull up Rocco's message, Jack? I just saw it.
Yes, but Kevin, change the camera angle. There we go. There we go. This is going to be beautiful. This is what we're. Rip is still wearing that apron.
No pressure, buddy.
Are we taking?
He's still wearing the apron.
How many I can do in a row?
Are we?
I'm not betting. I'm just asking if in the chat people
Are you going to go and do it?
I'm finishing the burger. I have one bet left.
This should be interesting. So you're going to back up. You're going to back up. Kyle, what do you think? Oh, what are we going to do? Yeah, thank you, Dilly Dilly. Hey, I try to stay in shape. I'll take that compliment.
I'm not clapping for that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you would think that all the smack talk that you, Kevin, Brad, and Rocco, of all people, give me on athletic prowess.
Well, I mean, one of us was a professional athlete.
Well, clearly it wasn't me, according to you all. Goodness. Oh, Rocco wants to talk about skipping leg day. That's funny. That's really funny. Rocco doesn't know what legs are.
That was crazy. That's kind of crazy for him to just.
It's funny because this guy will call me, and I've never heard him say he's doing legs in the history.
Not once.
He calls me every day from the gym.
He's all arms.
He's all arms.
Yeah.
All arms. Everyone agrees. Kevin, all right, you can back up. See, Rocco getting called out right now.
I'd say he gets 18 in a row.
18 in a row for Kev?
I think he's going to have to pause.
I think this is what's going to happen. If you do 20 in a row, Rocco is going to have to do 20 pistol squats. That's one-legged squats.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, so when you're ready, you're going to back up.
Tell me where.
Keep going. Keep going. Good. 40 push-ups. And again, this is brought to you by our friends over at Merit. And we're having fun with this, and this is how it rolls here at the round.
Kevin, we're having fun.
So Kyle's at 18. What's your prediction?
I believe in you. I believe in you. I'm going to say 40
in a row.
There's no
40.
way he gets 40 in a row.
No, I'll give you 20. Give me 20 straight. Okay. Shout out Merit Clubs. Here we go.
Shout out, Merit.
1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 10, 11,
Downward dog.
12, 13. Get him. Ollie's a family friendly.
No, Kevin, don't let it happen. Kevin, don't let it happen.
There's 18, 19.
20.
Going.
Wow, Kevin.
Is he on his knees?
Kevin, assert yourself.
Gorilla or one dog?
Yeah. Is it one Kevin Oestreicher versus one golden retriever or what?
Oh my gosh, no, Kevin, you can't let that happen.
All right, Kevin, keep going. You got to play it as it lies. Yeah. Kevin, play it as it lies. Have you ever seen Happy Gilmore? You
got to play it as it lies, Kevin.
Get him, Ollie.
I don't know. Are we going on those real push-ups at this point?
Kevin, you're going to have to get lower.
I mean,
okay?
Short
you're going to have to get a little bit lower. You got 15 more. Yeah. Ollie, what do you think? Come here.
I don't know.
Ollie, move. Because we can't see the form right now. Oh, he's blocking? Yeah, so you're going to have to do 15 more. Ollie, come here. Come here. All right, Kev, go ahead. You might have to get lower.
I mean, those aren't Marine push-ups. That's for
I
sure.
know. He'd be doing more.
Yeah.
Got to give me 10 good ones here, Kev.
10 good ones. I'd go chest to floor. You're gonna let's hear it hit.
Hey, 10 with a pause.
No chance.
So 10, stay. Up.
Like this?
Up.
Yep, up.
Down. Up. 7 left. Down.
He's going all the way down.
Up.
You got to stay off the ground a little bit.
Yeah. 6 left. Down. Up.
There was some wincing in that.
5 more, Kev. 5 more, Kevin.
I think I saw a blood vessel pop.
Yeah. 5 more. Ollie, down. Ollie, got to move. Ollie, got to move for Kevin's sake. I didn't say for you to get back up. Ollie, come here. Ollie, come here. Ollie, come. Come. Good boy. All right, Kevin, 5 more. Down.
You got this. Kevin.
Come on, Kevin.
You got this, Kevin.
Round of applause for Kevin. Down. Up. 4. Down. Up. 3.
You got this.
Down. Up. 2.
Don't throw up on that.
Down.
Floor.
Up. 1. Last one. Down.
Come on.
You got it. Hold it.
Up.
Oh.
Yeah, there
Well
he
done,
goes.
Kevin. Well done.
Kevin.
Well done. Well done.
And thanks to Ollie for all the support that he brought.
That was needed. I'm glad Ollie was there.
And the crazy thing is, we have the same people watching from the beginning to the end, which we appreciate when it goes off the rails here. And we know we missed some things, but it was great getting to catch up with Dan Duquette. It was great to see Kevin put in a solid effort.
Well done.
So how do we rate that? 40 good push-ups? Wow,
I mean,
if Kyle's coming at you right there.
There was a number of kind of iffy, but you had him hold it, so I'd say that he probably got away with it. Yeah,
Getting low. Well, guys, why don't we then? We're going to get on out of here, but before we get on out of here, we'll tell you about what we have tomorrow. We have another show, and at the moment, it's going to be a really good day tomorrow, Zach. We got another returning member to the Ryan Ripken Show tomorrow. Do you know who we talked about? Who it is, Kevin? Okay. It is a good day. Why? Mr. Cube, Ice Cube, is joining us tomorrow again. The Big Three coming back to Baltimore. So it will be great to talk to him again and see what is going on in his life with Big Three and business, and maybe ask him a little bit more about what he's thought about the NFL draft here. And the Raiders had a big draft. And as people know, he does have a love for Baltimore on top of it. And Kevin, Joe donated for some water for you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Any final words on the way out?
I'm going to stay late in the gym. I'm going to get my shot working so that I never have to do this again. And I'll beat Ryan in all the basketball challenges. I was playing some good defense yesterday, but he just played better offense.
And we'll save that clip for tomorrow.
There was no clip. It has to be erased.
Well, yeah. Also, Cube, I'm sorry. You do have that. I'm showing you every day. I'm able to rip, but Mr. Cube is my father. Mr. Ice Cube. Well, guys, I appreciate it. And again, shout out Merritt Clubs for everything. Kyle, again,
thanks for having me.
You're welcome for the great burgers.
Yeah, you did great. There's always a job for you at any Iron Rooster, Ryan.
I'm ready for it.
Yep.
I'm ready for it. On that note, cue the music. You look miserable.
Yeah,
he is.
A little bit, but we ride on.
As always, here on the Ryan Ripken Show, appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great Wednesday. Hopefully the Orioles win the series. And if they don't, we're still going to talk about it tomorrow. See you guys soon. Peace. Kevin, lifeless.